Well, good evening again, everybody, and welcome to the third Sunday night short. I guess I'm really going to have to try and keep them up now I've established them. Now, I know a lot of my subscribers are also subscribers to Keith Fenner, Tom Lipton, and of course Adam Booth, and will therefore have heard the sad news about the death of Adam's father. And I'm sure, like the rest of us, will be wishing Adam all the best at this difficult time. So we'll look forward to having you back soon, Adam. Anyway, I got a comment from somebody, and I've misplaced my notes, so I do apologise, about the VFD setup on my milling machine. So I'll just demount the camera and we'll take a little bit of a look at everything. Okay, the milling machine is a Longchang First, which I believe is it's a Taiwanese company. They're still in business. This is an 84 machine that came out of an R&D workshop somewhere. I believe these machines are sold in the US under the Sharp brand and are quite well regarded. It's pretty much a clone of a Bridgeport. It's a little bit heavier in places. The backlash adjustment mechanism for the lead screw is a bit better than the Bridgeport arrangement, and overall I've been really pleased with it. Fitted a power feed on there. That was a bargain off the clearance table at Kronos Tools. It had been returned by a customer as faulty because it only worked in one direction, and it just turned out to be a roll pin misplaced, and I got it for about a third the original price, and it took me all of 10 minutes to fix. Although it was a Y-axis feed, I easily adapted it to the X. So this is my control box that I made up. I used to have this up on the head. I still keep reaching it up for it up there, but in terms of being able to access the emergency stop, it's much better down at the knee, and it's where a lot of the original Bridgeports had their control panel. So these are all the controls on here, apart from the speed control pot down to the right here, are Chinese copies of old Telemecanique switchgear. The company name is Chint. They're really pretty good. I've bought quite a lot of these. They are chrome plated castings. You know, they're not chromed plastic. They're proper industrial switches. They stand up pretty well. So we've got start and stop. That's not a locking one. Motor. The LED is really just kind of a power indicator, and that's running off a spare switch input to the VFD, because on this particular one there was no 24 volt terminal easily accessible. And the white control is a jog, which, you know, when you're running a low speeding back gear, can be quite handy to just rotate the spindle slowly, or if you were doing some power tapping. And I kind of judge my speeds by feel and by ear, so the speed control is not calibrated. When I bought the machine, it had a pancake style 2-speed motor that really needed 415 volt, and there wasn't any real easy way to convert it to 240. So I had John Stevenson up in Nottingham supplying me with a replacement motor and extended shaft with an adapter plate. And what's sitting on top of it at the moment is the base plate from the original motor. And at some stage I'm going to machine that and swap it for the adapter plate that John supplied, because the clamp bolts up here that you have to release to change the belt, they're a little bit too long for that thin plate, and that old motor end plate will make a better adapter. So down here on the side of the knee is a little box holding the 110 volt transformer for the power feed, and behind it is the box with the VFD. So if I open up, and that's one of those cheap Hyanyung inverters, which I think I was getting them down to about 85–90 pounds delivered from China. And there's one on the lathe which I've had for a good few years now, this one on the mill that replaced a temperamental Siemens VFD. Really didn't like you varying the speed, it was always tripping out, no matter what kind of settings you put into it. It's all a little bit temporary in here. It's just wired straight in off the mains input, and it's due to get you know, contactors, and I like to have a key to turn my machines on and off. The inverter's pretty efficient, and I've run it for quite long periods, and despite the box not being ventilated, I really haven't detected any significant heat build-up. It's a reasonably large box, so even though, and I think it's this particular model's a 4 horsepower, and the motor's only 2.5, I think, or it might be a little bit lower than that, but it's certainly over 2 horsepower. I'm not usually driving it that hard, and it all works very, very nicely. And the enclosure I found in a skip, still in its box. It's amazing what people throw away. There's my DRO, which I bought from the DRO store, and the display and the 3 glass scales. We got one on the side of the knee, one on the back of the table with its cover on, which at the moment is simply held in place with some old hard drive head magnets, and the Z-axis. They're all 5 micron scales, and that whole package cost about £300 delivered, so that came in about 3 days. And I have to say the service was very good. I got asked a few questions, and they were answered nice and promptly. And well, I meant to actually get this project done today, but I'd gone inside for a cup of tea this afternoon and got a phone call from a friend I hadn't spoken to quite a while, and that kind of ate up a couple of hours. But this is a little bit of steel box section, part of an old desk, and I just roughed out a dovetail in it on the bandsaw that to fit the, as you could see, the dovetail on the ram. Lights and cameras and lubricators and vacuum pickups off this bar. Frank Ford has a website. He does musical instrument repairs, but has got loads of little workshop projects, and he's got that's where I got the idea from. He's got a little bar that hangs there for cameras and lights and so on. So thank you all for watching.